Hey everyone. All right, so here we are finishing the month of May. This has been a truly incredible month. Second best month of my trading career, up $85,000. And that's thanks to making $17,000 today. 3 days, well, 4 days, 3 stocks, incredible momentum. We had SOLY, ELTK, GNCA today. Big momentum opportunities, lots of FOMO in the market, lots of opportunity to capitalize on volatility. So really feeling super good about this finish to the month of May. And I want to remind you guys that this is the last day of our Memorial Day sales. So make sure you check them out, get started on your education, and make this the summer that you're able to quit your 9-to-5 job, supplement your retirement, make a little extra money, trading the markets side by side with me and everyone else at the Warrior Trading family. All right, I'll see you guys first thing Monday morning. Enjoy the recap, and as always, if you have questions, put them down below. All right, everyone. So here we are, end of what has been the best week of the month. We started May with incredible momentum. The first week and a half was amazing, and now the last week has been incredible. I mean, we have seen just 3 huge momentum stocks this week. We had SOLY on Tuesday, ELTK on Wednesday. ELTK continued into Thursday, and today GNCA currently up 50% on 3 million shares of volume with news this morning. I'm up $17,417.62 this morning. That's going to make this about $85,000 of profit this month, which is a terrific month. It's actually the second best month that I've ever had. My best month is $117,000. So a terrific month, just a really great period of momentum that we're seeing right now, and I'm being aggressive, pedal to the metal, 100%. I know that these gains are going to have to tide me over during a period of time when the market is a little bit slower, where we're not seeing big follow through, where I might be struggling to even break $1,000 of profit on the day. And on those days, I'll have to remind myself that I'm the same trader who made $17,000 on May 31st. Same trader. It's just that the market changes, and you've got to be able to adapt to that market. So, one of the things that we talk about a lot is the willingness to be aggressive being an important skill to develop as a trader, because there will be times when the market is just perfect for being really aggressive, and where you can get away with chasing stocks and buying them higher, and where in fact it may even be the right strategy to do exactly that because of the high levels of emotion that we're seeing in the market and how those are being reflected in the small cap stocks that we're trading. And then there's going to be a time where everything that pops up seems to instantly drop, and we're not seeing big follow through. And of course, that's the time to slow down, to recognize that the market is not as strong for long biased momentum traders, and that this is just the place to be stepping back a little bit. So I had 3 stocks I traded today: GNCA, ELTK, and SBOT. And in total, on our 3 big momentum stocks this week, I made about $10,000 on each of them. SOLY made about $10,000 on, ELTK made about 10 grand on, and GNCA about 10 grand, 11,700. SBOT was a small winner today, relatively speaking, considering where everything sits this morning. So let's kind of break down how I was able to find GNCA, how I found ELTK, and where I got in and got out of SBOT. All right, so the account today is up more than 20%. Tomorrow, this account will be, or Monday, close to $100,000, which is pretty cool. So 20% account growth in one day, and it doesn't matter if you've got an $8,000 account or an $80,000 account, 20% is a great day. Okay, so gap scanners this morning. Let's see, hang on, let me right click. We're going to go time frame. We're going to go to historical, 9:25 a.m. And again, today I started in the hole by $33. I'm trading on hotel Wi-Fi. So $33 to use the high-speed internet for 24 hours for one day. But I was able to cover that cost, which is which is good. At first I wasn't sure, but then, yeah, it looks like I covered it pretty well. Okay, so SBOT, leading gapper this morning. Now, well, let's look at SBOT first, and then we'll come back to ELTK. I don't know why it's so expensive. Actually, it's $16 per computer, and I'm using 2 computers. So, but $16 still seems awfully expensive. So here's our chart on SBOT. This stock was up 82% this morning, 5.28 million share float, and I'm just gonna, I'll leave that there. 5.28 million share float, 4.7 million shares of volume pre-market. I mean, this thing had almost 5 million shares of volume by the time the bell rang. It was really taking off. Now, my concern with SBOT, I had a couple of concerns. I'm going to move this over here. All right, so let's see. I'll put this here like this. All right, so there we go. Just keep that circle. So SBOT has an interesting history. Now, when you look at just the daily chart on SBOT for the last, couple months or the last month and a half, it's like, okay, whatever. There's nothing there. The 200 moving average is at $1.60. We're clearly going to be opening above that level. We've got a pre-market flag right here, pre-market high of 227. So, looks like a good setup for a break at 227. Okay, fine. But let's look at the daily chart a little more closely. Let's pull this back. And when we do that, what we're going to notice is that this stock actually has a history, a fairly sustained history of gapping up, squeezing higher, and then closing lower than the open. It's going to happen today. It happened on this day. Let's go back. It happened on this day, and it happened on this day. So when I saw that pattern that it has, I was immediately thinking that this was going to be something that would be a little hard to trust. Of course, the price is okay at above $2. I would say the area where I usually do the best would be between $2.50 or probably $3 and maybe $6 or $7. But this is okay in terms of price. So the only thing I thought was that it looked like it was going to be maybe a grinder. And grinding stocks often don't respond super well to breakout patterns. They pop up and fade. They pop up and fade. They don't hold their levels very well. But in fact, the bell rang and this thing popped up and it took off. My first trade on it was right here, jumping in at 47 and 48 for the break over the $0.50 with 9,000 shares. It broke the $0.50 and hit a high of 255 and then dipped down, and I sold for a $200 profit. Only $200. But I was still confident. It dips down. This is the first 1 minute candle to make a new high, and I bought right here. I got back in at, actually anticipated the break of 248, and I bought 12,000 shares at 245. It then pops up here to a high of 260, and I was selling at 255, 259, and 258. On that trade, I made about $1,400 of profit, just about 11 cents per share, and that put me up $1,600 on SBOT on 2 trades. One scalp of the $0.50 and one scalp on the first 1 minute candle to make a new high. These are breakout patterns. On this candle, the stock had, looks like 1.1 million shares of volume in that 1 minute candle. So me buying 12,000 shares was not a big deal. I was able to get in and get out with no issue. It's 27 million shares of volume on it today. So no issue trading big size on it, no issue with slippage, wasn't a problem. Now, as it started to curl back up here, right in this area, I was kind of watching it for that break over the $0.50. And I said, you know what? I don't think I'm going to do it because this 1 minute micro pullback ended up failing. And I'm afraid if it breaks here, because it just failed here, it's going to fail again. So I didn't trade it. But some people certainly would have bought this break of the $0.50 because it was a decent looking setup. $0.50 break, retest of 260, then a move up to 265, 270. And so you have people that buy right here. And when it fails, what do? They bail out. And so what you sometimes see on false breakouts is a quick whip, a small pop, and then a big flush as all the people that bought right here and that are maybe buying down here and holding for the move higher suddenly bail out. And so you have that quick imbalance to the sell side. And then it goes sideways, it comes back up, and it does it again. Quick imbalance to the sell side. People buy, and then it fakes them out. It double tops here, and they get right back out, and another quick sell-off. And that actually was a false breakout right here, also on the 5-minute chart. So it was more dramatic because you also had people who trade 5-minute setups get caught in it. So at this point, I was done with that spot. I had made my money in the first 5 minutes, and I wasn't interested in getting back in it. I thought it would be choppy and not safe. ELTK was actually the first stock that I traded today. It was gapping up 15% on 476,000 shares of volume. So again, a decent amount of volume pre-market. ELTK on its third day of continuation. So we have this sort of big move that happens on Wednesday. It continues on Thursday as we break and make new highs. And now here Friday, we had the third day of continuation. I was ultimately looking for a break of 1156, a break of the highs. That didn't happen. But what I did on this was I traded right out of the gates for a break of $10. So as you can see here, pre-market, my chart's a little messy because I've got these I've got the TAS market profile indicators on here, so they add this red line. So the bell rings, and we had this high right here of $10, and we had this kind of little hit, this little tap of 74, and then a pullback. And so the bell rings, and I jumped in right at 74. It breaks 74, 75. I think I added at 80. It hits a high. I took 6,000 shares. It hits a high of 10.15, and then it drops down, and I sold it at $10 for $1,200 of profit. I think it was $1,200. No, sorry, it was $900, which put me up $1,200 after my first trade on SPOT. So I made 15 cents per share on this trade right here. Not a big winner. It dips down. It rips back up. I'm not really sure I trust it. It feels just really volatile, so I'm leaving it alone. So I'm just watching it here. Wait, where was it that I got back in? Hold up. So that's the 5-minute chart. Okay, so sorry. So this is the 1-minute chart where it broke. That's where I had my trade right there. Made the $900. It then drops down. By the way, GNCA, I would watch if it broke over the high here of $7.10. Because if it breaks 710, that to me right there, watch the break of 710, 720 on the ask. So 710 was the critical spot. I want to see if it holds this level of 720, and then we might get a move back up towards 743. So just keep that one on watch. See what it does here. It may continue to sort of chop around, but if it breaks back over 750, this has a great shot at hitting high a day. So this may actually give another opportunity. So when I say I prepare orders, I put an order at 750 for 2,000 shares. All I've got to do is press the buy button right there if I want to get in. All right, so we'll keep an eye on that. But going back to ELTK, 725, 720, 725. Just gonna keep that on watch. So back to ELTK. First trade, the first $900 was in the first 1 minute. It doesn't hold that level and it sells off. It dips down. And then right here, as it curls back up, I got back in it. Anticipating that it would break over 10 and break the highs, I got right back in, right under here at 990, anticipating the break of 10, and we got a squeeze from 990 all the way up to $11.12. And that is where I made the bulk of my profit on this. I made over $3,000 on this trade right here. And my target was that we would break over 1156 and continue to make new highs. That didn't end up happening, which was disappointing. Now GNCA, this one was a surprise. This one was not on my watch list pre-market. And I don't think SOLY wasn't on my watch list pre-market on the first day it made the move either. It's not uncommon. This is a stock that all of a sudden started to take off. You can see it was lighting up the scanners here. Where did it first hit? It first hit right here, actually at $4.99. It's pretty impressive. And that was right here. And I looked at it and I was like, I don't know. I don't think I like it. It doesn't have a lot of volume, only about 100,000 shares of volume. It has news, which I saw, and I like the news. But without a lot of volume, I wasn't sure. And another big red flag for me was that the 200 moving average was right here at 594. So I felt like it was coming into the 200. However, it has a couple important things. It has news and a recent reverse split right there on the daily chart. So I knew it was worth watching, but I was waiting for more volume to come in. It pops up, it drops down, goes sideways here, and I kind of wrote it off. I was like, I don't know, it's not doing much. But because I had put it up on my level 2 window, GNCA, I was watching it side by side with ELTK. And so as I looked over and saw, as I see right now, that it's lots of green and suddenly starting to move up, I was like, whoa, okay, well actually, this may be worth watching. And right here, I jumped in at 550, anticipating, I was anticipating a circuit breaker halt, which I could see right now is at 779, but at the time was at 567. So I got in at 550, it squeezes up, it gets halted. It's halted for 5 minutes. It resumes higher at 655, it dips down, I buy the dip, it then squeezes up to a high of 680, and I'm selling, and then it drops down to 623, and I bailed out at 625. I was like, oh, I guess it's not going to go higher. This right here, this 1 minute candle is a red shooting star. I better get out. So I sold at 625. And I was up at this point, from right in this area, I think only like $2,000. It's like a small winner. I mean, it was okay, but not huge. And then all of a sudden, it rips back up right here. And as it ripped back up, and as it broke, just as I saw it was about to break over 780, I jumped in with 9,000 shares. That's where I took my biggest position. I was like, this thing, wow, it's going right back to high a day. This thing's going to break over $7, broke over $7 and got halted at 708. It then resumes and hits a high right here of 774, and then all the way up to 785, and that was where I made the bulk of my profit on this trade right here. So it kind of faked me out because it dropped down, and then when it ripped back up, I was totally willing to get in. And sort of similar here, if I'd gotten in here, I would have gotten stopped out as it dipped back down, but then totally willing to get back in if it works. And then similarly here, I actually got back in for the break right here during this 1 minute consolidation. I thought it was going to break over 760 and retest high a day right here. So I got back in. It fails. I stop out. I lose a little bit of money. It drops down and I'm like, well, I guess this thing is dead. And then again, it rips back up. So I got back in at 760, added at 775. It hits a high of $8, ended up selling at like 790. Or 790, 785. It hit 8, it didn't hold that level. And so between this was the big trade right in here, and this was a bit of a smaller trade, and this was a bit of a smaller trade because it didn't break $8. If it had broken 8, that would have been a much better trade. And then it ended up coming back down. So just kind of a wild stock. It ended up getting halted on a circuit breaker going back down right here, but then ended up obviously recovering and making a move right back up here. I mean, it's right now back at 676. It's not holding up maybe super well, but at the same time, it is still up 50%. It's got news, and I would say it'd be worth watching for the rest of the day to see what it does. And if it did break over 750, that 885 level on TAS market profile indicators telling you that's the spot to really watch for a break. This thing could go to 8 and then off it goes. So yeah, today ended up being some surprise momentum. It wasn't straight off the watch list, it was off the high day momentum scanner, but a stock that was under the radar started to take off, was willing to jump in, stopped out, got back in, stopped out, got back in, took a couple tries, but definitely found my way to profit. And then since I already had a cushion from ELTK and SBOT, it just made a $5,000 day much nicer. So I'm going to finish today up $17,000 and be grateful for this being the second best month of my trading career. I think it's the second best month. Just around $85,000, which is fantastic. So, and what's interesting is this month, I didn't have the best day of my career this month. I didn't have, I think this is the biggest green day of the month, which is actually awesome. It means that the profits this month were from lots of really decent green days. Lots of days between $5,000 and $7,000 and a couple of, bigger green days like today. But it can be done. It's a matter of learning the strategy, survive till you thrive, and really understanding the patterns that we're trading and understanding the charts. I mean, it's level 2, it's time and sales. This is the level 2 right here. The time and sales is the tape right here. It's being able to read the market sentiment right in front of you, to read the charts right in front of you. It's technical analysis. And it's understanding how momentum works and how FOMO works. And there's a lot of FOMO in the market right now because of what we had this week on SOLY and ELTK. Now, a week and a half ago, I had 3 really slow days. I had 3 days where I couldn't even break $1,000 because there wasn't a lot of momentum in the market. There wasn't a lot of FOMO in the market. People were being more conservative. They were sitting on the sidelines. And then all those people sitting on the sidelines, they jumped right back in when we got back from the Memorial Day long weekend on Tuesday with that big move on SOLY. So I saw a lot of you guys were calling out how you did this week. I'll scroll up here for 1 second. Let's see, this was in the chat room. Where was this? And I'm really just so impressed with you guys who, stepped up, put the pedal to the metal, got aggressive when it was time to be aggressive, and booked some really great profits. I know a lot of you guys are trading in the simulator, and that's totally okay. There's nothing wrong with trading in the simulator. It's absolutely what you're supposed to be doing. So, look at some of the profits that you guys had today. Kyle, $403 on ELTK. That's awesome. Jose, $5,600. Ernesto, $30,085. $440, $720, $375. I mean, everyone has different daily goals, whether it's 100 a day, 500 a day, 7,300 in the sim. The awesome thing about trading in the sim is that you're learning on the same exact software you'll use with real money. So you're proving you've got what it takes. Green, 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 green. So just so great, guys. Awesome way to finish a great month. And of course, we'll be back at it first thing Monday morning, 9:15, pre-market analysis. And those of you guys, again, who have been sitting on the sidelines, you're not in the classes yet, today's the last day to use the Memorial Day special coupon code. So I really encourage you guys to focus on your education. Let education be the tool that allows you to really take your trading to the next level and take your life to the next level by extension. So this is an exciting summer, just getting started here. June, July, August, it should be fun. I'm going to be really looking forward to some good trading. And the fact that I've been able to trade on my traveling trading station, on my laptop, in a hotel room, I can do this from anywhere in the world. I'm 5,000 miles or so from the New York Stock Exchange right now. Doesn't matter. Trades are fast, internet's fast, the profits are there. So anyways, enjoy the weekend, everyone, and I'll see you all first thing on Monday morning. All right, bye. See you guys on Monday.
If you're still watching, you must have really enjoyed that video. So why not subscribe and get email alerts anytime I upload new content? Remember, when you subscribe, you become a member of the Warrior Trading family.